Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. And a happy birthday to Brett. She's a beautiful girl with a beautiful family. May your year be everything you want. I haven't seen you in a while. I miss you. Anyhow, have you all noticed the call of the great outdoors has begun? For too long, people have been stuck inside. Weather's finally shifting. We don't think of April, we think of May. People are moving about, traveling. Wedding season's begun. And I've done a couple of early season weddings. And I've met the nicest couples and guests from all over. Toronto, Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Vancouver. It's always nice to meet such beautiful young folks. Kind, considerate, respectful. It's not such a bad world after all. We keep getting reminded of all the idiots. The news, the TV, the internet. But there is hope when one meets the nice, normal next generation out there who will be inheriting the world and bringing peace, love, and harmony, I hope, back into life. It encourages one to sometimes have to change their way of thinking. Change my way of thinking. Make myself a different set of rules. Gonna change my way of thinking. Make myself a different set of rules. Gonna put my good foot forward. Stop being influenced by fools. And there's certainly plenty of those fools. That's been demonstrated over and over again, how easy it has become to fool people into thinking what you want them to, into forgetting reality, into paying no attention to the man behind the curtain. I can say do not get sucked in, but an awful lot of smart people do get sucked in. Just look at the rise in anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, Israel hatred, support for a terror organization that slaughtered babies and the elderly and have not been held to account. Now, thankfully, 90% of the Jew haters running in the last elections up north did not get elected. But what happens when it becomes 90% do? If we do not wake up, smarten up, that day will come. Never stop questioning. Never stop asking why. Now this week we had the double holiday of Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut. The first is Israeli Memorial Day. It was on April 30th this year. The official Remembrance Day for the military members of the nation, which is just about everybody. And if you've ever been fortunate enough to be at Mount Herzl National Cemetery for the celebration, which I have, it is riveting. And I encourage you all to try and get there for it. The other is Independence Day, commemorating when David Ben-Gurion publicly read the Declaration of Independence of Israel on its creation. Long may it live. And we should all everywhere honor our independence, our freedoms, our inalienable rights to joy and self-determination. Sadly not man-given, nor even necessarily encouraged, but our God-given rights to truly live free and in the image of God. And friends, that's not a Jewish thing. It's a human thing. It's for all of us. The concept of community is central to Judaism, which again is forefront in today's reading and to the ethos of the Jewish people. But community, our way of being together, our way of organizing our collective lives, it's changed, it's evolved as the world has transformed. In the 21st century alone, in societies rocked by philosophical, technological, social, and economic upheavals, let alone anything else. In a world where many of the old patterns of behavior, affiliation, and identity have changed, the traditional model of community is in crisis. So what then is the future of community? Well, you know what? We may not know, but we still seek to come together in the most natural way. As family, friends, as we gather and celebrate as a like-minded group. A collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love. Because we come together as a community, a chavura, fellowship, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all. In this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Naim, Shevet Achim Gam Yah. Hine Matov, Naim, Shevet Achim Gam Yah. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Because we support each other in this community, let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whatever you happen to believe in, because we all actually do believe in something. It's part of your kavana. Your intention that you put out to the universe, that you goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. It's goodwill, energy, light, that we send to help heal whoever we know that needs healing. And you know people who need healing. Healing and renewal is for everybody. It just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love. Just plain goodwill. Focus on them, call their names. It's not just for people, it's for our pets, it's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those who are in need of assistance. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them, because we want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. Let's continue to send healing energy and prayers for the hostages still held, still languishing in prison, still in their pits of despair, the forgotten victims of innocence, for those closer to us, for my pal, for dear Charlie, for sweet Dina, for Mean, for Miriam and Billy, for forward-thinking Carson, for learning to golf Callie, who's never afraid to reach for more, for dear Gabby, for Trevor and Jessica, for Julia, for the Snooposaurus, who will be hosting us on the next Change of Season event, the summer solstice, for the builder who carries the world on his shoulders still, for Bonnie, Dave and Sabrina, for Marie and Paul, for Pammy, for Marlou, for Shelley, for Lucy, for Winston and Inura, who has not been well, for dear sweet Alana, who I miss dearly. She's always there to help, always there to encourage, for Johnny and Fern, for Kathleen, Carla, Mina, for dear John and Maria, for Doria and Gloria, for Connie, Ronnie, for Tally and Mayim, for Nina and Danny, for all those suffering and in need. And let's not forget to include all the familiars of our lives, all our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everyone you know in need, for the whole world, for Rosemary. We pray for all who need prayer, friends. It is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Me, Shabara, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones for us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Mishaberach, may He who bless, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, believe it or not, there's only a few more weeks in Leviticus, the shortest of the 5 books of the Bible. Of the Torah, that is. The Bible's 24 books. Aaron's sons are dead. We saw them taken like a sacrifice, and Aaron's told not to mourn them, not to honor the sacred relationship of father and son. We know inherently that's not right. And instead, we get right to further division and definition, the great distinction, the central theme of pure versus impure, clean versus unclean, the calling card of Leviticus, the book of the priest. How will it be demonstrated? By dermatological disorders. As we read tazria and metzora, she will conceive and leper. Little 2-part reading. but it really points to the incredible power our words hold. That's the theme, that's really the underlying concept of these two. Now, this week, we revisit a topic rarely talked about, especially biblically, and a visible disease very much biblical. Now, the first is menstruation, the second leprosy, but neither are what they appear to be. Only once before was the way of women mentioned, when Jacob fled with his family from Laban and Rachel was not searched because of the condition she was in. What a term. This isn't a disease. Blood is the life force of man. It is special. Out, damn spot. Out, I say. One of the most dominant of all Shakespeare's scenes. Lady Macbeth and blood. A regular event in the real birthing person's life, and often a terror to men, but essential in life. And so we're at our first reading about impurities. And the differences between those to do with males and those to do with females, and the differences can be quite striking. Leviticus 12:1. A woman, when she will bear seed and give birth to a male, will be impure 7 days. She will be impure like the days of the impurity of her menstruation. On the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. Now that, of course, is the second of the 4 covenants God made with man, the covenant of Abraham for circumcision. Leviticus 12:4. And 30 days and 3 days she shall remain in blood of purity. She shall not touch any holy thing. She shall not come to the holy place until the completion of the days of her purification. Now look at the words that are being used. No touching holy things, no entry to holy space. Completion of her purification. And if she will give birth to a female, that was male, if she gives birth to a female, then she'll be impure 2 weeks. Like her impurity, in 60 days and 6 days she shall remain with blood of purity. So it's double if a female. What does this tell us? What does this tell women? How does impurity come from the most natural and beautiful function of man, the creation of a child? We have made the beautiful appear to be a crime. And that has done a great disservice to people, especially women. We then immediately move into something else to do with Leviticus 13:2. When one has a visible problem on his or her skin, sore, rash, discoloration, injury, scab, allergic reaction, loss of hair, because of medical treatment, it's a special distress. It's embarrassing. It can be frightening. One feels ugly. One doesn't know how long it will last. Sometimes one wonders if others are making fun or pitying, or even just feeling disgusted. Now, while the internal feelings are of distress, the laws in this section convey that it is not the person who has done something wrong. It's not something intrinsic in the person's behavior. Being impure because of a skin condition does not mean that one has done something wrong any more than being impure because one happens to be menstruating means that one has done something wrong. But because we're now dealing with visible issues, and it's different. Visible is very different. Invisible means you don't know. And that's why most Orthodox men will never shake the hand of a woman, because they don't know. You just don't know their condition, their state, their level of purity. But the visible is different. And we saw that before. We saw it with the plagues. The visible allows for things like discrimination. But in this case, it becomes fixated on leprosy. It's an obvious sign. But that too is actually a metaphor for something else. Now, all older English translations represent the Hebrew tzarat, as talked about here as leprosy. However, modern scholars are pretty unanimous in rejecting this identification. They say it's not leprosy at all. It's skin blanching. It's an alteration of the pigment of the skin. But leprosy, now that's got a much more powerful image to it, with skin and body parts falling off. Leprosy. What a sorry mess I am to see. Even friends can't stand to look at me. Oh, I despise my leprosy. It refers to certain skin conditions whose nature varies. Now, the main points we must note are It's not about medicine. It's about a specific group of skin diseases. They're dealt with by the priest, not the physician. The priest's task is to diagnose the condition, not to treat it. Leprosy is not a punishment from God. We view it as such, but at no time is it mentioned as such. It's not about morality. And again, who's always in charge? The new class. We saw them created. The guardian of the abyss, the priest. The priest is the doctor. The physical, the emotional, the spiritual. His role is not just as doctor, but perhaps as the shaman. He is the witch doctor. Ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ting tang, walla walla bing bang. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to say. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to do. Now the priest examines him, separates him from the tribe, and the priest shall see him again on the seventh day. And look, if the affliction is faded, if the affliction is not spread on the skin, the priest shall declare him clean. And if someone is afflicted, Leviticus 13:46 tells us, he shall call out, unclean, unclean. All the days that the affliction is on him, he shall remain unclean. He is unclean. He shall dwell apart. Outside the camp shall his dwelling place be. They are removed. The person is contaminated. And the contagion must be segregated until healed. This is 3,500 years ago. Not yesterday, not today, not 4 years ago. How quickly we fall back into tribal beliefs. Look out, Lord of the Flies is next. But have we changed in our approach? We still shun and segregate those we deem contaminated. Now what's fascinating is, this is the story of contagion, the power of contamination. It can affect even objects like the houses we live in. So the cleansing is not just of the person. It's of the structure, the home, the walls, the bed, the sheets. It's about contamination, the spread of conditions. And this is also about purification. Now, what a term. And all the cleansing and purification takes place in a very particular fashion. Forget about sacrifices. We haven't seen one since Second Temple times. That's 2,000 years ago. Notice instead the things we still do. We purify, and we do this every day. As the Bible tells us, so much takes place with water, especially over living water, mayim chayim, fresh water, flowing from a well or other natural source, as opposed to stagnant or stored water. Notice almost all these rituals we read about is over living water. That's why mikvahs were so important and have continued to be. Well, you could even find them on top of the desert fortress of Masada or the caves of Qumran by the Dead Sea. They're the cleansing apparatus of living water. A return to the primordial condition of our beginning, the separation of the water from above from the water below. We all come from water. The separation of those with disease from those without is actually all about bringing people who are infirm back into the community. The return to Shuvah that is so important in our heritage. It's what synagogues that have installed ramps to the bima for the handicapped, balloons for the deaf, so they can experience the vibrating sound of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. As we were once responsible to return and include those who were impure to the congregation and segregated, so we may learn to include the handicapped and infirm as well. Now, I said earlier, there's really a different meaning to be addressed here. And what we're really being reminded of is the incredible power our words hold. Now, leprosy, metzora, the word, is believed to be an acronym for motzi shemra, meaning someone who speaks slander or negatively about someone, which is, of course, gossip, lashon hora, negative or forbidden speech, as Miriam does about Moses' second wife, and ends up devoid of pigmentation. That is, with skin blanching. Gossip is deadly. Do not listen. Do not participate. It damages and destroys, and mostly without merit, and it's always the result of somebody telling you something, not from something you actually know firsthand. Heard it from a friend. Heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You've been messing around. Now, I remember when I realized in the early to mid 80s that thoughts are things. They trigger speech, which triggers actions. Now, it's not true when they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words not only hurt, but my friends, words will kill. They destroy. See, it's not about the condition of stopping its spread like a disease. It's about impurity. And that is really one of the most impure things we do is the listening to gossip. The concern's not a medical one of a contagion, but a ritual one of contamination. Tameh, impurity, uncleanness. Contamination. Now there's something that we're really good at. Yes, my friends, the world's sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everybody and end to terror and hatred. We're a community, my friends. We learn together. We celebrate with each other. We love each other. We share this right together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life, and tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. You always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've come to hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate in your own life, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. You can't control others. You can only control yourself. Keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love, because love's always in front of you. And work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of your real power, it lies in your consciousness, in your ability to be mindful, aware, present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart. Because we're all part of the greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state, because whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other, because we're each of us simply trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. Find them. Tell them what they mean. You're never alone on your journey. Listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, them, they talks to you, and remember your connection to God and all he has created in body and in soul. It's a part of me. It's a part of you. It's a part of all of us together forever. Listen to his voice. He's talking to you and just you, and continue to ask why. Look at what you hold contaminated and condemned, what you need to cleanse within yourself. Seen the arrow on the doorpost saying, "This land is condemned," all the way from New Orleans to Jerusalem. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Share care. Always be there. And imprint your soul and your will on the universe. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.